Alright my captains, so today we are going to talk about HARE and whether you should summon for her or not, and let me know your opinion about it in the comments section below. Are you going to summon for HARE or are you going to skip her? And before we start, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd, and if you enjoyed the video make sure to hit that like button and share the video with your friends. Now without any further ado, let's just get started. So first of all, HARE is going to be basically a physical damage dealer. She is going to be a mecha type. Now these two stuff are actually a very powerful point for her, and we are going to discuss why later on in the video. She is going to use a completely new weapon, which is a spear, and that is going to be a downside for her, which we are going to discuss as well later on in this video. Now the last thing that I want to talk about is her stigmata. Her stigmata are going to be basically Alexandra, which is Bronya's mother, and we know her past with Bronya's mother, and that's why she has actually these stigmatas. Now that we are done with what she has, let's talk about whether she is worth summoning for or not. So going back to her type and damage dealing, she is, as I said before, a physical damage dealer, and she is a mecha type. Now if we take a look at the Valkyries that we have who are actually physical damage dealers and are mecha type, we don't really have that many good Valkyries. In fact, we don't have any good Valkyrie. We have some that are fine, like maybe Bright Knight Durandal. But other than that, we don't have really that Valkyrie that can stand up and say that I can take HARE's place, you don't need to summon for her. So her type and her damage dealing are actually a massive advantage for her. You can see her type and her damage dealing and say that this is the Valkyrie that I need directly, because there is, as I said before, no other Valkyrie that can stand out and say that I am better than her, or at least I can take her place. Now let's talk about the weapon. Since the weapon is a completely new weapon, which is a spear, as I said before, this is going to mean that you need to summon for the weapon if you summon for her, because if there is a free-to-play weapon, yes, it's going to be okay, it's going to make her fine, but fine isn't what you want from an S-rank Valkyrie, right? Fine isn't what you would expect from an S-rank Valkyrie. You would want more. You would want at least very good, if not optimal. So in order to get the very good, you need the weapon. If you want the optimal, obviously you will need even the stigmatas, but the stigmatas you can actually change with some other stigmatas that gives basically physical damage dealing buffs. However, the weapon isn't going to be actually changeable. You will have to summon for her weapon, otherwise you won't even have the very good either. It's going to be just fine, and that's not what you want, right? It's not what you would expect from an S-rank Valkyrie. You spend crystals on her so that she would carry you. If you won't make her actually very good, she isn't going to carry you. And that's the big disadvantage for her, which is her new weapon type. If there would have been other Valkyries who use the same weapon, you would have been able to exchange these weapons and maybe get her to become actually very good with that weapon, and that would have been very good for her. However, right now, since she is the only Valkyrie who uses this weapon, unfortunately you are forced to summon for her weapon, otherwise she isn't going to be that good. So now that you know the advantages of her and the disadvantages of her, she also has actually a unique gameplay where she summons the seeds of ideas and they fight instead of her in her normal form, and then in the ultimate she starts to fight. And her winning screen is literally one of the absolute best winning screens ever. So now that you have both the advantages and the disadvantages of the Valkyrie. Let me know your opinion about whether you want to summon for her or not in the comments section below. In my opinion, you should summon for her for two reasons. One, as I said before, there is literally no other Valkyrie that can stand out, that can actually replace her, because her type and her damage type are actually very unique for her, and they are literally two date types right now in the game. There is literally no other Valkyrie that is mecha type and physical damage dealer and is as good as her, or even close to her actually. So that is one. And the second one is basically that the next version is going to be a free-to-play Valkyrie, so you are going to have the time to save crystals for the upcoming Valkyrie after that as well. You will have basically two versions for you to save basically crystals for the upcoming Valkyrie in case you are afraid of that. Now obviously, if you want to save as many as you can in order to grant basically her weapon and her stigmata as well, then in that case it's up to you. You decide what you want to do, but in my opinion, if you can actually pull her and her weapon, that is going to be very massive buff for your team and for your account, because as I said before, this is your chance to get that one mecha type physical damage dealer that you need actually on your account. And I know that all of you needs it, because there is literally no Valkyrie right now in the game who can stand out for that. So that's why in my opinion it's going to be better if you summon, but keep in mind, if you are going to summon for her, you have to summon for the weapon as well. That's the problem. So I'll leave it for you to decide, but I gave you my opinion. And as I said before, let me know your opinion about it in the comments section below. And I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that they can enjoy it too. And if you got any useful information from this video, or if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe my channel and turn on the notification bell beside it so that you stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd. And with that being said, see you as always in the next video of Honkai Impact.